Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Without any further delay, let's get started with the weekly analysis for Bank Nifty. So, so in the last week, we did see some promising moves, but at the same time, especially the Thursday and Friday was a bit dismal, and the effect was such that whatever gains that we had so far in the month of March was totally eroded, and now we are basically looking at a doji kind of a candle in the month of March. However, we are still on 12th of March, so more like around half of the month is still pending to understand what this candle will form like. Although you guys pretty much know in both the sessions in the previous two of my videos, I have mentioned about monthly candles, what happens after three red candle formation on the monthly time frame. So if you haven't checked it out, you can go and check that out as well. So right now, things are looking like absolutely nowhere because we are basically seeing more of an inside candle in the previous month so far, and the trend on the shorter time frame has been on the downside. Although on a larger time frame, which is on a monthly, we can clearly see it's a formation of higher highs and higher lows so far. So, but then this is a monthly time frame, and we are basically trading on a lower time frame, which is we basically take bets on a weekly expiry. So let's see what things are going on in the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, after this bullish engulfing, for which we had a target of somewhere around 43,000, although the SL has not yet taken out, the SL would be a low of this particular candle. But let's see if ends up taking the SL or ends up taking the entire target. But very interesting to watch if you see, particularly from this candle. Yeah, this is particularly the 30th January week candle. So post that, there have been 5 weeks wherein we have actually not gone anywhere, and more or less Bank Nifty has been trading within this particular range. This particular candle, I'll show it to you in daily as well. It's basically the budget day candle high low. And interesting part on this weekly time frame again is more of a higher high and a higher low structure. But now the important point to be watched out would be somewhere around this zone. Tell you frankly, it will be somewhere around this pivot for me. Okay. Yeah, so somewhere around 38 437 or 38 800. These are the zone where if at all we see a sharp downfall, because what has happened, Bank Nifty has been in a tight range now. Now the only thing is why we are seeing that the range is too the Bank Nifty has become very volatile is only because the range has expanded a lot. So if you see the high and the low of this particular candle, it will be roughly around 2,500 points, and I'll show it out to you. So what we have seen erstwhile, that Bank Nifty took resistance here, and then we saw a breakout, a retest. So more or likely, if at all we break this zone, then we might see, especially this particular candle low, then we might see Bank Nifty going up till this level. We might see that as well. Now, see, in this particular week, we had to deal with the Adani crisis. Then here comes the SVB issues. So really don't know what exactly is gonna happen. If at all, it's very much possible that we take a bounce from here, or it may even so happen that we may come up till this level, slightly go this way, and then take a up move. Either which ways, we are gonna see an up move. It's just a matter of time when we are gonna see that up move. So yeah, let's dive into the lower time frame, which is the daily, wherein I want to show you this 2,500 point range. I'll just mark this color in maybe this green. Okay, because this is a weekly time frame, so the this entire range would be much more important. This entire range, 38 437 to 38 800. Okay, so now let's get on the daily time frame. Let me check if there is a I don't think so, although, but let me just have a look at. No, So in Bank Nifty, we have been tracking this particular trend line. And what happens whenever, prices try to reach up to this level, sellers get activated. Here we are basically, now we are in this particular broad range, which I showed you in the weekly time frame as well. Now let's just measure it out. See, this is the high and the low of the budget day candle. You can clearly see it's a 2550 point range. Now I'll show you one more thing. This is the high. Yeah. So precisely we haven't taken out the high or the low of this particular budget day candle. And I'll see how many days. So since here, which is like January 27, we have been within this range only. So roughly, if you see, it's been 42 days or 29 trading sessions, which is roughly 1.5 months. Bank Nifty is absolutely doing nothing but moving within this 2550 point range. So of course, whenever it breaks this particular high or this particular low, it would be a kind of a range breakout or a range breakdown in that case, if it goes on the downside. And however, I'm expecting some sort of a support here. And if at all we are able to, like, if Bank Nifty is able to successfully break this particular trend line, then we can see a swift up move, because it's a simple reason, because we have taken multiple. There are two confluence of resistance. One is this particular trend line. The other one would be this particular 42,000, this particular zone. So typically what has been happening so far is, whenever the prices reach up to this level, everyone becomes bullish and think, now Bank Nifty will make a sharp up move. And whenever prices reach at this particular zone, everyone thinks there is going to be a massive short like downfall. But then Bank Nifty actually does nothing of that sort, and more or less moves within this 2500 point range. So now, so obviously this particular high low of this 1st February high low of this particular candle remains important. And so what has happened here, this particular Thursday was more of a not a good day, because here what we saw, first of all, more of a kind of a selling kind of a market. However, the very next day, which was Wednesday, was a good up move, and in fact on this particular, the second half especially, we did see some sort of a short covering rally here. Especially this one is what, Friday, sorry, yeah, this one. In the second half, we actually saw some sharp up move, wherein the call started spiking very brutally, and then there was no follow through on this up move. We actually tried to, like, Bank Nifty tried to break this particular level thrice. This was on the day of Wednesday, this was the opening of Thursday, and then second attempt on Thursday, but it was not able to take out. And then what we saw was more of a M pattern. Now the only problem is, if we would have opened flat and then taken this particular neckline, then it would have been easier. Like, we would have been able to capture some significant points. But because of the imported weakness of Dow, we basically opened with a huge gap of more than 350 points, and then from there we had to take the trade. So of course the meat of the move was lost due to the gap, and thereafter whatever we had to do was more of an intraday. So Bank Nifty gave a good down move in the first two candles itself, and then more or less it just remained volatile in a small range then. So now where from here, let's see. I just go on an hourly time frame as well. Yeah, things come. So this one, 42,000 or 41,979 it's a right now it's a like a big and a huge resistance and a hurdle. But now for this week, what I am expecting is we might see all the calls above 41,000, specifically 41,100, and about to go to zero. Because now what will happen, this particular gap, whenever Bank Nifty will try to move up again, see on Friday evening we saw Dow closed again by lower than 350 points, And then there are news flows that keeps coming in during the weekend, that SVB would be able to honor only 50% of the total money of the deposit holders, and the rest 50% of the amount would be 5 or 6 months down the line, and then the investors are basically gonna lose everything. So and so forth. So obviously there will be some sort of a ripple effect on US banking system, and at the same time we too will see some sort of a, the global weakness will definitely impact us as well. So although Indian banking system is much more far in a much better shape than what SVB is, basically Indian banking system are very much resilient when it comes to operating during a higher interest rate regime. Because in India, when it was more of an emerging economy, right now we are moving towards a developed economy, which is a good news. So when it was a more of an emerging economy, we always had a higher inflation rate and higher interest rates both. So we have been dealing with that kind of a interest rate regime. However, when it comes to US, they have been used to operating at a lower interest rate regime. So for them, this sudden shift is a bit problem. And of course, it is especially the US banking systems are much vulnerable when it comes to higher rate regime. So any which ways, coming back to our charts, so in what right now we are going to see is, for this particular expiry, especially I am expecting 41,200, 41,100. Rather, I would even say 41,000, but the volatility is sometimes so much. So let's see, but yeah, 41,100 and above calls are likely to go to zero. Let's see for now, but then let's see how the week moves. So let me just mark this support. This one is a budget daily candle low, which is the 1st February. Just changing the color, yeah. So here we did see a W-shaped breakout, but now we are exactly somewhere at that, like Bank Nifty took exactly some sort of a small support. I would not say this one is a big major support, because Bank Nifty already tested this and then tried to go up, but then failed to make a fresh new high. So which means we are still in a lower high and lower low structure on the daily time frame, which was evident. So this one is a basically now more of a weak support, especially when we are looking at some sort of a minus 300, 350 points on the US market. So this one is an pivot, immediate pivot for me to look for. See, when I say support, that doesn't mean whenever prices touch here, we have to simply buy. Support means like these are more of a reactionary points. If at all, we have to wait and check what the price action looks like, and then we have to act accordingly. Usually what happens whenever there are a slew of bad news, and when there is a more of a panic kind of a selling, usually supports are not respected. You would see days like it just takes off all the supports in one go and it straight away comes here, kind of a thing. So then support doesn't mean you have to buy blindly at this particular juncture. You have to see the price action. If at all you see some sort of price action wherein you see more of an hammer followed by a confirmation, then you may go long, because reversal trades always have a smaller SL, which means the RR would be better. So this 39,750 as well as this particular low, which is 39,600, this would I would like term it as a entire zone as such, and then we'll see. So these are the, and this one was more of a 30th Jan low, 39,426. Although we are expecting, if this particular low gets taken out, I'll just show you in the weekly as well. Yeah, the bulls came in right here. We'll mark this level in 15 minutes. Yeah, so if this particular low is taken out, which is 39,749, then definitely we will see some sort of again we are going to lows of budget day low, and if at all we are able to successfully take that out, on the downside, then definitely we will see this particular zone to be tested. So let's see what how things pan out. Obviously, there is nothing to panic about when it comes to Indian banking system. That is on a longer time frame, but obviously on a shorter time frame, we will definitely react to all the things that are going to impact not just Adani or the domestic stuff, but also the US SVB kind of stuff as well. So that's about it. Like right now we have like if you guys have gone and checked Aditya's thread on Bank Nifty analysis, which he has posted yesterday, I'll definitely drop the link on the description box as well, so you can go and check out. He has clearly mentioned that in our accounts also we have sold all the calls above 41,100 and above, 41,200 and above, and we are currently we are holding those calls as an overnight position, and let's see what happens during the week. I'm expecting more of the call sell, and maybe towards later half of this particular week, which would be typically a Wednesday, because Tuesday again we have Nifty expiry, so the volatility or whatever we are going to see on that day as well. So typically I would say somewhere around Wednesday or Thursday is where we may see some sort of a sideways kind of a thing. Let's see. So I'm basically what I'm trying to say, I'll be only focusing on call sell, which I have already done like on Friday, and if at all I have to sell put, it would be in the on days like Wednesday or Thursday, when I, if at all, and that too if at all I see some sort of a rest on the downfall, only then I am going to see sell that kind of a thing, and that I'm doing only for current weekly expiry. That doesn't mean I'm going to sell puts for the monthly expiry. No, I don't do any of those things. We only trade on weekly expiries. So this particular week, which would be 16th of March expiry, at the most on 15th I will see if at all prices do show some sort of a resilience, only then I will convert it into a triangle. But yeah, essentially it's a more of a call sell. And now see, the thing is, if you let's say on Monday, if we open another some sort of a gap down, and then from there if you try to sell call, then obviously the risk reward will be even worse, because you have you have missed the entire move and then you're making a call sell. So now the probability would be like, what if you see this kind of an up move, then you'll be screwed. So my advice won't be to sell calls after a significant gap, because after a significant gap down, because we have already seen this kind of a gaps. Like we are just currently gonna hold whatever calls we have sold on Friday, and then we will take it forward as it goes. Because you also know, like whenever if at all like there is a gap down, then what will happen? The calls will get crushed in the gap itself. See, India VIX, if it rises, yes, it does help. But then see, with the kind of the fall we had, India VIX went up only by 5%, which is not very significant, because we are still looking at somewhere around 13.4. So yeah, that's about it. So I will definitely post these levels on my Twitter timeline as well, and go and check out Aditya's Bank Nifty analysis as well, because his analysis is a bit different, but then more or less our overview or the more or less matches the same. So we actually have a call sell position in our accounts. So that's about it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.